And y'all thought I was gone. Don't worry, I'm still here. And go. What is this? This is me turning off the music because Steph and Skip are here. Well, Steph's here. Howdy, Steph. Skip there with you? If so, howdy, Skip. I am not gone. Just tired. Let's look at the realistics. I only actually have one day off a week. It's okay. I go to work 5 days a week. I do my laundry on the 6th day. And that would be today. And then on Fridays, I drive my wife to work. So I'm not really set up to do a good tailgate. Been working on that though. Problem is the phone goes dead if I don't have it plugged in. And if I'm in the truck, that means I have to keep the truck running. Have you seen the price of gas? Holy cow. If I'm in a cigar lounge, it looks like I'm talking to myself, and then I'm making noise. And other people sometimes are just wanting to relax. So that's really the wrong location, unless I've got it set up that that's what I'm doing, and I've told everybody early enough. Tomorrow's not going to happen, and I know it's not going to happen because I'm working tomorrow. For anybody here in the Houston area, tomorrow is probably your last day to get a Texas Cigar Festival ticket. It's at NRG Park. Whole crap ton of people. But you better like cigars. If you don't like cigars, or you're just kind of iffy about cigars, you might still want to go. It's a damn good time. I've been told a lot lately. I miss tailgates, man. You gotta go back on. You gotta keep doing the tailgates. I'm gonna skip going to see Dave Matthews Band, but Steph, Skip, the question I have: how was the Who? I heard you were going to the Who. Did you go to the Who? That's a concert I probably would have liked to have seen. Last time I went to go see Dave Matthews Band, the girl I was dating at the time. Oh, to the Guess Who. So this girl that I was dating at the time, she was extremely good about winning things off the radio. She'd hear any kind of a Call in, be the whatever caller. No, I didn't quit. I didn't quit, James. I didn't quit. But yeah, the last time I went to see Dave Matthews Band, this girl, she had like 18 different lines that she could dial, and because she worked as an accountant, she had that 10 key thing down. And it was amazing to watch her do it. She'd hear caller 10, blah, 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 whatever, you'll win this. And she'd be like, and 9 times out of 10, she'd be able to win because she would be able to seriously go like, oh, look, 7, 8, 9, 10. You know, she would just hit the next one. If she knew it was 7, she'd go 7, 8, 9, 10. She'd already tied up every line they had. I know what she was doing was technically cheating, but hey. Howdy, Horatio. Great to see you, sir. And howdy, James. Great to see you too, sir. So, so we went to the Dave Matthews Band, and I guess he was sick. People tell me that he was sick at that time. But he came out, did like one song, took a 15-minute break, came back out, did one more song, took another 15-minute break. You know, by the time he got through 5 songs, it was already 2.5 hours, and you could see that there was not going to be an encore or nothing like that. It was just like, you know what? Done. Want my money back. We didn't even pay for nothing. Still wanted my money back. Just wasn't that good of a concert. Now, granted, A, it was free. B, if he was sick, okay, I mean, Huva Ilta, Boris. I mean, I understand still going out there and saying, look, I was sick with the flu, but you could have at least said that at the beginning of the show. That would have at least told me, hey man, if he's trying his damnedest, instead of me finding out months later, oh yeah, he had a cold or the flu or something. He didn't sound like he was stuffed up or sick. Maybe it was that brown bottle flu. Hey, I don't know. Howdy, Skip. Great to see you, sir. I'm not judging on somebody's sickness, but I am allowed to say that it was a horrible concert. The other day I was visiting at Mr. Stumbo's house. I wasn't there. It was Tuesday, like all Tuesdays. I was having a great time. And telling you what, you ain't hanging out with Stumbo on a regular basis, you're missing out. Don't blame me. I'm not twisting your arm to make you go, but you'll want to go if you ever hung out with him anyways. So last week I didn't go live. Yeah. when I got up on Thursday, kind of wanted to go live, but by the time I turned around and got done with all the things I needed to do, I was like, oh crap, it's already time for Robert to be on. No point in going live now. The whole day slipped away from me. Not really slipped. I was just working, doing all the little chores and stuff that still need to be done around the house. Now that I got a job, I'm not here to do them like 24 hours a day like I was. Howdy, Matthew. Great to see you, sir. And then on Friday, well, I was all the way across town. Just like I'll be tomorrow. Though tomorrow I'm working. My manager is actually managing 2 stores. And he wants to make sure that all of his people get at least 1 day off this week. And he asked me if it'd be alright if I worked at the JFK shop, way up on the north side of town. Hell yeah, why not? The only disadvantage for me is I don't make any commission on working up there. I could turn in $15,000 in sales and be salesman of the year just from that. And I still won't get any credit for it because that's not officially my shop, so is what it is. That's okay. I'll help those guys out. I will help those gentlemen and that lady out, and it'll work out just fine for me. Oh, Matthew, yeah, we're hoping that your wife doesn't get any worse. Look, I know people get sick. Crap happens, right? Okay. If y'all get sick, just do what I do. Get over it. No, just messing with you. So Arlo's opening a box from James, but there's going to be no video of it. Howdy 45, great to see you, sir. And in answer to everybody's dying question, yes, I do miss the tailgates. But I like having the job too. The job is fun. I mean, come on. Work around cigars all day? In general, it's relatively easy work. Of course, you do need to know a little bit about cigars. Gaining all that knowledge is sometimes worse than the job. I mean, imagine you have to go to work and they tell you that you have to smoke your least favorite blend or your least favorite cigar because you have to know the flavors of that particular cigar so that you can tell people, well, these are the notes you're going to get. this is how the construction is. You have to be able to convincingly tell them that it's a good cigar, even if you hate it. Not always the easiest task. By the way, it's a pipe today. Howdy, Donnie. Great to see you, sir. Oh, from the Philippines. Nice. What particular city do you happen to be nearest to in the Philippines? Probably Manila, but I mean, hey, he might be on one of the smaller little islands and there might not be anything out there. And yes, there are some small little islands like that out in the Philippines. Oh, thank you, Matthew. This was sent to me by Steve and Miss Kathy. It will sit. Maybe not on my hand, but it will sit. And it smokes great. It's a 9mm, which, I mean, okay. I'm just not using a filter. And don't worry, if the tailgate has to stretch long, I brought backup. This was sent to me by Jose Golf Piper. Howdy, Welsh. Great to see you, brother. Oh, yeah, everything's going great at the store. But I knew it would. I knew it would. And no, I'm not trying to be arrogant or something like that. The guy who's the manager at this store, I've worked with him before, so I knew what it was going to be like when I went back to work. At least going back to work with him. So, I mean, it just doesn't get much better than being able to hang out with your friends and smoke cigars and get paid to do so. Ah, Matthew, good question. Tonight's blend is Lord Nelson, though you can't tell that by the can. It's just my drying it out can. But it is Lord Nelson. Sutliff. You don't have to take my word for it. It's smoky. It's got a little bit more latakia than most blends that are still considered in English. But you can always ask a certain dentist that we all know. He seems to like it quite well. It's still harder to smoke a pipe during a live show than it is a cigar. Well, I'm hoping that means pissed in the English version and not pissed in the American version. Pissed in the English version means that you're having a good time. Pissed in the American version means you're about to be ready to tear somebody's head off. Well, luckily he's over there in England. That would be the reason why he's Welsh Piper, but I mean, hey. And Dottie, I did see the name of that city, but I couldn't pronounce it. I'm not going to sit there and try to lie about that. Rizal Nuevo. Yeah, EC something, and it all starts looking like Greek to me, and I know that they don't speak Greek in the Philippines. Oh, hey, congratulations and happy birthday, 60th birthday. That's a hell of a milestone for anybody. Anybody want an ice cream? Ice cream truck's gonna come by. He'll be gone here in a minute.
Tell Lee it was the music truck.
And for anybody who was hearing that, Holly's out here with me. At least right now she is. Boudin and saltines. Come on now. Can't we at least have some gumbo? Matthew, yeah, I would be really good with an ice cream myself, but probably not from the delivery truck. Just saying. About 4 hours south of Manila. Okay, I know about where that's at. I'm familiar. All flavors and push-ups too. Oh wait, that'd probably get me in trouble if I continue that song any farther. There might be some Van Halen fans that would just get a little bit American pissed, not English pissed. Well, let's be honest, I don't sing that good. I don't think I could pull that song off anyways. Next week, by about this time, I will be picking up my cat from the vet. I will make sure to take a picture the day before and a picture the day after. Yes, the big furry one, the one I call Trump. He's gonna go in and get a haircut, and it's his annual checkup. He acts all right, but staying on top of things so that they don't cost more later. You know, here's all those booster shots that are required by the local municipality. He's such a brave cat, and then I shove him into this carrying crate that's big enough to hold a larger dog than what he is, and he shrinks down and hides in the very back like as if it is the worst possible sin ever that I have put him in this carrier. And then I take him to the vet, and he hides as much as he can behind anything that will block everybody's view of him, not realizing that he's got this bushy tail sitting out the backside of whatever he's hiding behind. And He's easily visible. And then he'll come home with a real close haircut. But long-haired cat, Houston? Come on, it'd be like having a husky here in Houston. You can't do that. It's too damn hot. They could never go outside unless you get them a haircut. I mean, you know, just trying to be good to the animal. At least it's not the one with the permanently injured leg. No alcohol in this, sorry. Is a red cream soda. Every once in a while I really want a red cream soda, whether it be Big Red or the store version of what's closest. This would happen to be an HEB, what do they call it, Wild Red. No specific reason for wanting it. It just takes me back to being a kid. And I used to drink, what was it, Big Red. That's what it was, Big Red. Stuff's horrible, probably rots your teeth. Oh, Horatio. Yeah, I gotta smoke a pipe every once in a while, just to remind y'all that I actually still do like pipes. I think Steph and Holly would get along. Steph's having pink lemonade. Holly's going, sounds good to me. Oh, very cool, Welsh. Very cool. Skip, I have seen those LaCroix sparkling water knockoffs. You're saying coconut's your favorite? I've pretty much gone through the whole set of them, but I haven't done the coconut one. Mostly because I like actual coconut water, not just something that's flavored like coconut. Matthew, my cigar shop does not sell snuff, but I will tell you that there is a place here in Houston. I'm going to type their name in real quick just to make sure. Oh, I put one too many spaces here. It is called The Briar Shop. And they do sell snuff and they do ship, but they don't really have it on their website. You gotta kind of call them up and say, hey, what do y'all have? And if any of it sounds interesting, then you just tell them, hey, this is what I'd like. How do I get you the money so you'll ship it to me? Horatio, that Guinness Extra Stout sounds right up my alley. I'm not sure about the little brandy, but Uh-oh. Donnie, that doesn't sound good at all. No tobacco for pipes or snuff. If you have to smoke a pipe and you can find a cigar that you can stomach the taste of, cut it into coins. At least it'll work. Yeah, Matthew, their website's a little wonky and difficult to navigate, in my opinion. But they do have cigars, and they have snuff, and they have pipe tobacco, and they have pipes, and a lot of peripheral stuff too. And they said that they will ship to anywhere in the United States that is legally allowed for them to ship it to. Some of those states that have made it outlawed to ship any kind of tobacco inside their state, well, I can't do anything about that. Tennessee Fire, that'd be Jack Daniels with a little bit of cinnamon schnapps mixed in. With a touch of Coke. That's the cola, not the powder. I'm not judging. I mean, if you need a little booger sugar, that's on you. I'm not judging. I'm not condoning. As long as you don't bring it here, I'm good. Which Rocky Patel did you have, Boris? There are some good ones, but unfortunately, there's a lot of Rocky Patel that tastes, well, like Rocky Patel. Like 15 different sticks out there, and 8 of them taste exactly the same. And Horatio, I will say, I tried snuff once, and that was enough. Snort some tobacco dust up your nose, and eyes start watering, and I started looking like I had eaten something spicy. I decided it was enough. Not doing that again. Howdy, Everett. Great to see you, sir. Yeah, vintage 1990. I'm not a big fan of that particular one. At some point, Boris, I'm going to have to see about getting you a number 6. I think you'll appreciate it. Well, 45. Every once in a while, I do have to smoke a pipe just to remind y'all that I am a pipe smoker as well. I'm not just part of the YTPC, I'm also a member. And I've had some of those Cuban-ish rejects. Matthew, if I was to pick out a Rocky Patel, any number, just any Rocky Patel first one I'm almost always going to say is the number 6. After that, the aged limited rare number 2. And after that is the LB1. In my opinion, those are their top of the lines. They are so vastly superior to everything else in their lineup. Now, this is my opinion. I'm not saying that Rockies are bad, but when you've had those 3 that I just mentioned compared to all the rest of the Rockies, you're going like, man, okay, I got this. I understand now. Howdy, Chip. Great to see you, sir. Well, Piper on the 45. You just need to come on down to Webster, Texas, which is a little farther down 45, and see if I can't figure out your palate enough to hook you up with the right cigar for you. I'm fairly decent at it. That sounds like fun, Skip. The dark-fired Kentucky ones always remind me of chewing on a piece of charcoal. If you like a really, really strong charcoal taste, and some of them are sweet-tipped as well, so you end up with sweet, and then when the sweet wears out, you have just charcoal. That's the flavors you get. Was not to my palate, but they're made by Drew Estates. You're not going to find too many bad Drew Estates as far as construction and smokability. But if the flavor doesn't appeal to you, I mean, all I can tell you is these were the flavors, and if you don't like that charcoal flavor, then you're probably not going to like that. Oh, Everett. All right. Well, happy birthday to you as well, sir. And be looking forward to seeing some videos with you breaking that one in. Donnie, I've told people this for a long time. Go get a 3x5 notebook card. That's all you'll need. And every time you have a bad Padron, write it down in 1-inch letters and numbers. The date. That's all you got to do. And you're going to run out of life before you run out of paper. We're not talking about a big card there. I'm just telling you, you're not going to find too many bad Padrones. Ah, Joya de Nicaragua. Yeah, those are pretty good. Drew Estate Swamp Things. Not a fan there, Skip. Oh, that Candela gives me a splitting headache. Toilet paper? I didn't see any. Howdy, Steve and Miss Kathy. James, you might run out of paper if you use a rolling paper, but a 3x5 card, I think you'll still have paper left when they put you in the ground or in the oven. It depends upon what you want. Or burial at sea. I mean, however it works for you. It is possible that you're going to find a bad padrone out there somewhere. Somebody had an off day at the rolling, or maybe the press went a little funny and it just pressed a little bit too much on one spot. But they've been doing everything the same exact way for so long now. I don't see them quitting, and I don't see them getting any worse. And John Wayne, right, James? John Wayne's not dead. He's frozen. And yes, Miss Kathy and Steve, I am smoking that pipe y'all sent me. I'm still very appreciative of it. Oh, Horatio, don't worry about it. Last person that thought that they were screwing me up with toilet paper in the tree, they didn't understand. I know a little too much about paper. Walked out there with my cigar lit, walked up to the first ribbon I could touch and clicked off that torch, and woof, toilet paper just burns right up, floats away. Not even hot enough to catch the tree on fire. Well, I'm not sure where John Wayne is, but I heard that he was frozen. There's a whole bunch of people that got frozen. I don't know why. Doesn't matter to me. I won't be around when they go to thaw them out anyhow. Howdy, Patrick. Great to see you, sir. And Steve, yes, I've been working. Sometimes on your days off, you got to put in a little work just so that when you go back to work, you're able to work. I know, Patrick, right? Donald never smokes a pipe. I do. Actually, I smoke a pipe quite often. But it's a little bit more difficult smoking a pipe during a live than it is smoke a cigar. You can claim anything you want to, but I've proven it to myself. No matter how good you are at packing, no matter how good you are at staying on pace, it's going to go out. You're going to relight a bunch, unless you're one of those professionals like, I guess, Chad. If you live in locations that are much drier than Houston. Ah, Patrick, that is the Sutliff, Lord Nelson. Had to stop and think about it for a second. It's an English blend. I like English blends. I mean, if I'm just smoking just for myself, I'm not trying anything new, it is probably going to be an English or a Balkan. I do like vapors. I like pure Virginias. I can smoke straight Latakia. Boris, yeah, unless it's raining where you're at and it's sun shining here, then chances are my humidity's got you beat. It's like a sauna. Byzantium. Well, Everett, I will put that on the list to give it a try. Of course, it's going to be a while before I try it. Just before my birthday showed up, I did get 3 pounds of tobacco plus a jar that was labeled as bacon old fashioned, and then I smoked right through that bacon old fashioned because it was good stuff. A Juan Lopez Cuban cigar. I've had one of those. But I'm going to tell you, I have drank a whole lot of stuff since then, and I'm not sure I remember it as well as I'd like to before I start saying whether I liked it or not. I'm kind of fond of the Partagas D series myself. 4, 5, 6. There's a few others out there somewhere, but it's going to be a 4, a 5, or a 6. Just me. And no, I'm not trying to disparage anybody from having a good cigar. If you want to have a good cigar, there's only 2 requirements to having a good cigar. 1, is it smokable? And 2, do you like it? That's it. I can hate it. I can tell you it's a turd. But if you like it and it is smokable, it's a good cigar. That's all it takes. Howdy, Cedric. Sorry, I wasn't exactly paying attention there. Should have said it faster than that. But no, I'm just enjoying a pipe. Over the past 2 weeks, I've been smoking Innerdale. It's tasty when lit, but until it gets lit, it smells like soap. And I'm just not sure I can get past that. Cedric, if that's the worst thing I've done to you is help you to keep your humidor full, then I've done a good job. Empty humidors are A, a waste of space, and B, harder to keep in control of your humidity. You should always try to keep them at least 80% full. Patrick, you don't have to smoke Haunted Bookshop. You could always just go with Rustica. Or Old Joe Krantz. I'm fairly sure he's accepting of any of those three. Uh-oh, you have 20 extra cigars and more on the way. Then, Cedric, what you need to do is get a gallon glass jar from Walmart. Something with a good seal. That and a Boveda pack. One Boveda pack for every 20 cigars. That's just the rule of thumb. See, I knew I could pick out what Everett would be appreciative of. It's well documented. He tends to like the burley. I've had Rustica one time. I was at some little pipe shop off in the middle of nowhere, and they were like, "Here, fill your bowl up with this stuff." So I did. But I didn't have the money to get anything worthy of the prices they were asking, so I was contented with my one little bowl of Rustica, and I thought it was good stuff. But I mean, hey, okay, the Boveda Ziplocs are good. Yes, they are fairly good. The only reason I ever say anything about the glass jar is that glass does not breathe. Plastic actually is porous, so you will get some transfer of humidity through there. And if you don't have anything else in the glass, you can always seal it back up with some extra Boveda packs in there, and they'll stay fairly fresh for a good long time in a gallon jar. Oh, I'm sorry, Steph. I have bored Steph to tears. She's going to bed. See how you are, Steph? No, I'm not like Mr. Stumbo. I'm not going to guilt trip you into staying. He's very good at it, though. I laugh hilarious. I mean, outrageous when he goes off on people. It's fun. He even does it to me, and it's fine. I'm okay with it. Uh-oh, Steve. Well, Steve, if you run out of room, like I said, glass jar, Walmart, something with a good seal, and some Boveda packs. You know, call it your emergency humidor. And then as the supply goes down, you can always use it for anything else that you want to. If you were Cliff, you'd use it for pickling boiled eggs. Yeah, Steph, you have a great night. Thanks for being here. Really appreciate it. Oh, and by the way, we're going extra long today. Because Robert's not coming on for at least another hour. I can handle cigar-flavored pickled eggs. Long as it's the right cigar. Not charcoal, not sweet. How about something peppery? Yeah. My shop specializes in peppery sticks because a lot of people here in the Houston area really like peppery sticks. You know what would really work with a cigar flavored pickled egg would be the Davidoff late hour. Oh no, we're not pickling cigars. As soon as you dip them in vinegar that way, you might as well forget that they're a cigar because they'll come unraveled. That glue just dissolved. It's done. Won't be nothing but trouble. Oh, Cedric, that would be even worse. Best-selling cigar in my shop. If I had to say any one cigar sold better than any other cigar, it's a toss-up. Avo number 2s and Padron 7000s. We got guys that come in for their box orders on a weekly basis, and they've got no problem throwing $300-400 at a shot. Just the other day I had an $800 sale. Like it was nothing. Must be nice to have that kind of just cash just flowing out your wallet. Yeah, Steve, there is a lot of that. I'm always working at something. Oh yeah. Welsh, the only thing that would hurt those guys is if they were paying for UK or Canada or Australia taxes on those cigars. But it's Texas, and let's just say it, we're spoiled Americans, and we like it that way. And I'm okay with saying it. In fact, I even said it to somebody with a English accent. He's like, I can't believe you actually said that. I mean, it's the truth, but I can't believe you said it. And I said, what? I'm okay with being a spoiled American. It's fine. But at least I know that I'm a spoiled American. I'm not off to the side of it saying like, oh no, these taxes are horrible. I know about what's going on in the rest of the world. He's like, you're rare, dude. I am. Good night, Horatio. You have a great night. Take care. We'll see you soon. Yeah, Steve, that's the only problem with being retired is you don't get paid for all the hard work you put in anymore. Unless you can find a hobby that you can get paid doing. Hell, if I could find a hobby I could get paid doing, I would have already done it. Tried making some pipes, so I just don't have the time to do it. By the way, at some point, I'm going to need somebody to get in touch with me about a certain person who lives up in Walla Walla, Washington, having an address that I don't have. I think I need to send him something. Guy makes clocks. You probably don't know who I'm talking about, but that's okay. But I am going to have to get in touch with him at some point. He won something one time and told the person that he won from to send it to me. So I really need to repay that kindness at some point, now that I have a job. Yep, that's what I was afraid of. Always a problem with pipes for me. I never know when they're out until I'm pulling ash back through my stem. You can always tell when a cigar is done. It starts burning the shit out your fingers. Speaking of which, if I light this thing now, it should still be smoking for most of Robert's live show. There was a method to my madness. Is it that particular J Mouton, Mr. Stumbo? The one you were showing us all just last Tuesday, which is only 2 days ago, but yes. It is beautiful pipe. So at some point here in the near future, I'm going to have to put a little video together to show Mr. Stumbo exactly what I'm talking about when I told him just the other day that there's a $400 humidor. I will show you the prices on humidors that are just sitting there at my shop. And they're decent prices. Seriously. For a good humidor, they're not cheap. Handmade, even more expensive. And then already seasoned? Shit. Gotta scare this fly away before he crawls down on the camera. By the way, my little lighter here came with a punch. It's just so much easier to use it that way. Steve, I think we are thinking of the same person. Woo! All name brand cigars. Well, here's the crazy part. I don't know who's going to donate the cigars. I'm not asking. But when I see the video of which cigars are in the box, I'm going to write them all down. I think I just burnt that fly. And my cat is wanting in. Please excuse me for just a half second. He is the one with the long hair, so if he's wanting inside, it might be for water. Can't leave water around out here. The squirrels and the possums and all that will get a hold of it. I don't try to encourage them to hang out at my house. But yeah, so when I see the video of all those cigars, tasty, tasty cigars, I'm going to write down all those cigars, and I'm going to go find them at my shop, and I'm going to show y'all what the price tag of those cigars is, to let y'all know what you would actually have to pay if you were just to set out to go get it. Remember, we're also talking about a humidor there. It's ridiculous. Holy cow. If it's a 40 count humidor, plus the humidor, could easily run well over $1,000. That's at Texas prices. Remember, that's spoiled American and only paying a penny per dollar for tax. that would still be almost $100 worth of tax that would come up on that. Just saying. Ugh. And James, I'm not going to do that just to upset you. I will do it after the fact. Much later. But to show what kind of kindness and niceness that the YTPC tends to engender. Howdy, Robert. Great to see you, sir. Ah, yes, everything's back to right. I am smoking a Herrera Esteli by Drew Estates. This is the one that they would call the Brasilia. And the size on this one, Brazilian Maduro Toro Especial. Always like this stick. The other day, a guy came into my shop. He said, I need to get some cigars for a celebration. And I was like, okay. And I'm looking at the guy and I'm thinking, divorce? He said, nope. My daughter just graduated college. I'm finally done with the bills. And I said, okay, real celebration. Reason for celebration. Welsh, I have seen it, but not up close. But I have actually seen a Romacraft Femur, which is a 12-inch long by 120 ring gauge cigar. I don't know how you'd even smoke it, but it's been made and people have smoked it. I like the Hoya de Monterrey Epicure number 2. And not, I tell people, look, it's a less expensive Cuban. I'm not saying that it's cheap Cuban, but they've got it priced right down to where to fake that particular stick, you're going to spend just about as much money as you would if you just went and bought one. So very, very few people are ever going to end up with a fake Epicure number 2. I'm sure it's happened once or twice, but very few are ever going to actually get there. Yeah, Boris, I agree with you wholeheartedly. Patrick, you're right. 120 ring gauge is too much. I mean, there are well-known porn stars out there that don't have 120 ring gauge. Just saying. Everett, the Punch Diablo, I think you would like it. It doesn't feel strong when you're smoking it, but when you stand up, it's like, whoa, hey, wait, that had a little bit of kick to it. And if I knew I could get it to you, I would also get you a Romeo San Andreas. I think you'd like that one too, Everett. Yeah, Patrick, I'm okay with the Gordo, which is a 60 ring gauge. And I can go down to high 40s without too much problems. But too skinny for me, like a Lancero is too skinny for me. It's not going to work because I smoke with a wet palate. And it's just going to plug up. Howdy, Todd. Great to see you, sir. Well, James, I'm telling you right now, whoever wins that box and those cigars, just seriously, whenever I do run up the price of all of those, and I'll take the time. I'll even figure out the price on the Cubans. And if they're not happy with it, extremely happy with it, well then send me their address and I'll bring it back to you. Nobody's going to have to get hurt over it. I'll just go get it. I know what a damn good box that is. And I'm not talking about the cigars. I'm talking about the box that it's going to come in. They can't appreciate what that box is and what it would mean, then they don't deserve them in the first place. .360 ring gauge. Well, Robert, you'd still fit through a manway. For anybody who's curious, a manway is a oval, 12 inches tall, 16 inches wide. I can fit through one. Most people can fit through one. Though Boris said that he's into that 5X medium. So I'm not going to say Boris can fit through one. But most people could still fit through a manway. The trick is to believe you can. It ain't always fun. Especially those with some reinforcement rings. Oh my God, those hurt. James, that does not surprise me at all on those prices. International shipping rates. Well, that sounds like you got some good fitness there, Robert. Just saying. Howdy, Jeffrey. Great to see you, sir. James, that is pretty much always going to be that way until either you hit the lottery or till your two kids are all the way through school, out on their own, making their own. college is expensive. And for all those parents that you're thinking, oh yeah, get my kid to make good grades and then they'll be able to handle it and all that other stuff. Oh yeah. You just wait. There is nothing like going broke because of a full ride scholarship. They will penny, nickel, and dime you to death. $300 a shot. Hey, you're taking 5 courses. Here's your 1,500 just in books. And then we're going to change books every year just to make sure that you can't get used books anymore. Oh, we're going to do an art class. Lab fees and books for an art class. Yeah, you wait. Full ride scholarship is more like permission to rape me, sir. Please, can I have some more? It ain't fun, I'm telling you. But when they get done, they got that education, they got that paper. There's routes they can go at that point. Some of those good paying jobs are only available if you've got that piece of paper. Steve, I hear you completely there, but let's say 1 or 2 of them wants to be an electrician or a plumber. There's good money in that, people. Y'all remember, college is one route to go. A trade is another. Though I will, for all the young people out there, I will make this one statement. And I want y'all all to understand, I'm not trying to pick on anybody. If your college degree will not pay for your student loans, don't go there in the first place. It is not the government's responsibility to pay off your stupidity loans. If you're going to go and get your college education and you're going to get a degree that actually can move you along up the food chain, so to speak, if at the end of this you can actually afford to upsize your McDonald's to a large, then you ain't doing too bad. But if you're going to go out there and get a degree in philosophy, well, unless your name is, what is it, Abby or Margaret, and you can get in with that newspaper that writes Dear Abby or whatever the other ladies are, then you probably ain't going to be having a job that's going to pay for that level of wastefulness that you just slapped the hell out of everything. And I don't feel that it should be up to me to pay taxes like a big dog. just so that you can demand to have your student loans forgiven for nothing. All right, Everett, you take care. Now look, there's people in other countries, they can go to colleges for free. And you know what? Go look at the taxes that the people in those countries pay. When you start seeing $7 for a liter of gas, maybe you'll understand. Don't do that, James. You'll break your TV. I can't afford you another TV, brother. Always good seeing you, James. Always good seeing you. And Kim, Hunter, whole Stumbo family, Amber, if you're in there. But I have a niece that went in and just got through what Amber's doing. She is now a pharmacy technician. She graduates on the 13th, so what? Tomorrow? And I'll tell you, she's already enjoying the fact that inside of 5 years, her student loans will be taken care of. Way to go, Amber. Keep up the good work. Know that it's not just your dad that's proud of you. I'm proud to have even known you, okay? We're all pulling for you to really knock it out of the park. Steve, that's very true. I'm underqualified for the jobs I've had because I don't have those college degrees. And then when they get into my experience level, they're like, holy crap. Boris, a 4.0 is 98, 99, and 100 on all your grades. Nothing below a 98 will get you a 4.0. It used to be everything had to be straight hundreds across the board, but I know that some college courses are graded on a sliding scale. But that puts you at the top of the class, or really close to the top of the class. Granted, a person that graduates from medical school at the bottom of their class the next day is still referred to as doctor. But let's be honest. The ones that graduated at the top of their class is the ones that are going to be working in the best facilities. Those are the ones you want to go see. The ones that graduated just barely, those are the ones that probably end up at like family practice and not really doing anything spectacular. Same is pretty much said for electricians. The ones that take the classes and do really exceptionally well, those are the ones that you want wiring your house. There's some guys that squeak through just barely. Those are the ones that you kind of have to walk behind them and go, did he wire that light switch correctly? There's only 2 wires. Well, 3 with the ground. But hey, if you're looking to sue the hell out of a medical facility, you really want to find that guy that just barely squeaked through. Ah, Patrick. That is a Herrera Esteli by Drew Estate. It's the Brazilian. It's Toro size. Toro Especial. Not that Toro Especial means much of anything. But it's a little bit thicker than the average Toro. The average Toro is like a 52 to 54, and this is a 56. So maybe that's the special part. And I've always liked it. Can't wait to get a few more paychecks. Welsh, that is very true. 52 was pretty thick 20 years ago. There were a few that were in that Gordo range, 60 ring gauge. But not very many. Now there's a plethora. Oh, not a problem, Patrick. I never mind talking cigars or pipes or pipe tobacco. Now, for all of y'all who are fully aware that colleges and high schools are about to let loose of all their kids for the summer, I would like y'all to all remind yourselves of this one scary fact. That means there's going to be a whole lot more people on the road that have a tendency to have their face on where their thumb is going instead of where their car is going. So get it through to yourselves. Remember, everybody is out there driving. Everybody that is not you is crazy, and they're out to kill you. Be careful out there on the roads. especially during the summertime when all these extra kids that really think that they are bulletproof and invincible and can take on the world and nothing could ever harm them. And they get behind the wheel of a 2,000-pound killing machine and they go to work. Hey, I worked in the insurance industry. Trust me. You don't want to see some of the things I've seen. And I didn't have to see the worst of it. I'm just a boiler inspector. But we had to take classes on vehicle safety on a regular basis. And you know what they show you there? All right, well, you take care. We will see you on another day. I'm fairly certain Robert wanted you to hang out with him on his show, but he moved his show back an hour. Oh yeah, Steve, you used to think you were bulletproof, untouchable, indestructible. That and tree trimming, right? I don't think I'm bulletproof and unhurtable. I'm obviously not indestructible. But for some strange reason, this world for 48 years has been trying to kill me and hasn't succeeded yet. So I'm doing okay. Oh, Welsh, I'm not sure when Robert's going to go live, brother. But if anybody does see Robert go live, please inform the whole crew here so we can jump over to his live. YouTube still does not tell me when people are going live, when I am streaming. Or at least very rarely do they tell me somebody else is going live when I'm streaming. So quite often it's like, hey, I'm waiting for this other person to go live. Just waiting, please. Well, Boris, there's a lot of people out there that thought that they were brave enough to ride a bull. And they got through the very first attempt and decided that they were not. And I'm one of those also. The Filthy Hooligan. Can't smoke that one myself either because it has the candela. It's a barber pole from Alec Bradley. It is made with the black market tobaccos, but it has a candela and Maduro wrapper. So green and, well, about that color. That candela gives me a splitting headache. And so I don't I don't smoke many of those a year. I get like one filthy hooligan sometime right around March. I smoke it, and then I go in and take some Tylenol and hope that it leaves me alone. Oh yeah, Boris, you ain't lying. See, when I was younger, I grew up near the King Ranch. So there was cattle. Oh yeah, just go run on up there and jump on the back of that damn thing. Yeah. Probably not the smartest of ideas. Though I will say, Brahma's a big, heavy set bull. They don't much care for getting up off of the ground. But what they do like to do is just lean into a fence and rake down it. Yeah. Or wander up next to a tree and lean into it and squish you between the tree and the bull. Everything's going great. This one's not even kicking. Crap, it's heading for the tree. I'm off of here. Just saying. And you really don't want to play around with anything that would be considered a longhorn, because they'll whip that head back, knock you clean off of its back like you weren't even there. And at the same time, you're probably picking yourself up wondering how in the hell you ended up all the way over here, because the bull's way over there. In general, the smaller bulls tend to be the more athletic ones. Just don't tell Bodacious. He was fairly good size. But there were bigger bulls than Bodacious too that were pretty nasty. Just saying. Steve, I wish they would have had the high-speed cameras that they have now back then. Because that would be one hell of some good footage. Except for that part where you come flying off of his back. Probably screaming. I've never seen anybody come off the back of a bull that wasn't screaming except for the top of the top professionals. And the ones that were out cold. I've seen a few that were out cold. Looking like a rag doll spinning around. Then they go flying when they really get bucked. Ugh. Uh-oh. Kid got stung by a yellow jacket. I think we've all had that reaction to those kind of wasps at some point in time. Oh, speaking of yellow jacket, that kid right over there across the street got stung by a yellow jacket. On the back of his arm. I got a lollipop here in the house that'd make him forget about all that pain. All of it. One lick would be all it'd take. Of course, I wouldn't do that to him. Some about a 5 million or 9 million Scoville lollipop that I don't think is right to feed to a kid. Yeah, Steve. You get headbutted by a bull while you're trying to ride on his back. Chances are you ain't thinking about nothing on your way to the ground. You're not thinking, oh, this is going to hurt. You're not thinking, oh, what just happened to me hurt. You're thinking nothing. You're not thinking. You're just flatlined. I mean, that's what happens. Lights go out, and when you wake up, you wonder if your face is on crooked because everything here is going to hurt. Oh my goodness. I gotta tell you, I have really missed doing tailgating because I mean, I enjoy spending time with my customers and the few that want to come in and say, hey, what's going on, you know, but conversations tend to be more like very repetitive on my end. Good afternoon. Good evening. Good morning. Would you like me to help you find anything in the humidor today? Oh, that's fine. Have a good time in there. If you need any help, I'll be right here. Hey, did you find everything you were looking for? Very nice. Okay. Total today is going to be, thanks for coming in. Y'all come back and see us. That's pretty much the whole conversations that I have all day. Every once in a while somebody will come in, hey, I like this and this. Or, my buddy said this is a good cigar. What do you know about it? Now, all right, I'm going to have a little bit of a conversation, but it's still going to be less than 15 minutes. Two-hour conversation? That's not happening. Nobody wants to hang out with someone while they're smoking a cigar, getting chatted at. Tailgates are different. It's hanging out with friends and saying, hey, what's going on, guys? How y'all doing? For real. Don't hold back. Anybody got questions? Throw them out there. Thank you, Steve. I appreciate that. Some of my customers know me well enough to know. I mean, if they want to hang out and talk, hey, you're more than welcome to sit right here, pretty close by. We can talk about whatever you feel like. But those tend to be the cigar connoisseurs that they've had a rough day. They just want to kind of sit back and relax. And they don't want to hear the news. They don't want to hear the weather. They don't want to hear the same conversation 1,500 times. And I let them steer the conversation wherever it's going. Luckily, I've had enough experience in life that I'm well versed on a wide variety of topics. I mean, there were the two property lawyers the other day. I couldn't add nothing to them. I mean, I could follow along with what they were saying, but there's not really much I could add. Hell, they'd probably charge me if I was even to ask some of the questions that I had. So I just left them alone. Every once in a while I'd be like, peek in to the lounge, say, hey, just making sure y'all are all right still. Temperature all right, television sound low enough. Are the air handlers doing a good enough job for you? Basic stuff. Got this one old guy that he's either a retired electrician or he's about to be a retired electrician. He and I have conversations, but that's because he found out I was an electrician, and he's like, oh yeah, so we talk electricity stuff. And it's like, okay. He always wonders, or he started that conversation realistically with, well, why'd you quit electricity? I know you're making better money as an electrician than you are as a cigar salesman. And shattered a kneecap. He's like, ooh, never mind. Understood. Electricians stand on ladders all day. That's just the truth of it. He even said it himself. He said, man, if I'd shattered a kneecap, I'd have been done right there. That's it. Never doing this job again. Says your knees, legs, and lower back hurt bad enough just from standing on a ladder. I can't imagine what it would be like if you gotten capped. Well, yeah, that's pretty much what it was. So we're about 30 minutes out from Robert going live. I've still got at least 30 minutes of cigar here. Oh, goodness. So Saturday, evening-ish. Don't be surprised if I do a crazy little live just showing y'all how Texas Cigar Festival looks. Howdy, Derek. Great to see you, sir. And if there's any of y'all that feel like y'all would like to do an hour or an hour and a half or even longer in front of Robert's live that he has now moved back an hour, feel free to discuss this with me. I got no problems telling you, hey, come on in, jump in. Not a problem. This is not going to be one of those where I'm going to bogart a time slot. I'm really only available for Thursdays anymore. And Thursday is always pretty good turnout. So if you're feeling like, hey, you want to do a live, I am happy to help you out in any way I can. Because it's fun. It's fun hanging out with y'all. I mean, very few of you would I recognize in a crowd if we were just brushed past each other. But those who are doing lives, I mean, I at least know pretty much what you look like. I'm not sure that red cream soda pairs well with this cigar. In fact, I'm pretty sure it doesn't. Oh well, I wanted a red cream soda. I'm drinking a red cream soda. Nah. Oh my gosh, I just remembered something I forgot to do today. But there's still plenty of today, so I can read the blob while listening to Robert. Yeah, I'll get it taken care of. That'll work. Loads of information in the blob, by the way. In case y'all don't know what the blob is. I don't know anybody here that doesn't. But of course, that's the Briar Report. That's the blog on the Briar Report. Always good information on there. I'm always seeing somebody's new channel or somebody's doing a giveaway. Normally, I've read it by 6 o'clock in the morning. But by 6 o'clock in the morning, I was working on my third chore of the day. Sometimes you just have enough stuff that you need to get done that you just can't get to everything. One of the good things about the blog is it's going to be there. Short little read every day. Just the other day, I started off my day by hearing that I was a wet blanket. I laughed and laughed and laughed. It was awesome. Phil, if you're out there, I appreciate it, brother. Really made my day to hear that. I don't get offended, people. Really, I don't. It's part of what makes tailgating fun. There we go, Zippo. Now you're participating the right way. Hell yeah. Did you want to say anything else about that shameless plug that you're throwing out there? And don't worry, I don't mind. This is a good place for it. It's a damn good place for it. Uh-oh, what was that? 7 o'clock. That's what that was. I forgot to put the silencer on. Six o'clock during daylights or during regular time and 7 o'clock during daylight savings time, I always get an email saying something. That's what that little ding ding was. I'm sorry. For anybody who is wearing headphones that might be now deaf because of it, I apologize. 2 weeks off and now I just don't know how to act. And for anybody who might be upset that they don't see me actively joining in other people's GAWs, please don't be upset by that. I mean, now that I've got a job, I'm a little busy. I might be missing a video. The other side of that is I feel very blessed to know all. Alright, it's obvious I'm going to have to put the silencer on. If I can figure out how. Where is the settings? Ah, the hell with it. Wait, there it was. No. I'm in the wrong spot anyways. Oh well. I'm entered already. Hey, I didn't even know I'd entered. Well, I guess I'm in. It's like hanging out at Stumbo's. I'm like, no, I'm out. I'm okay. Donald, you're in anyways. But I want everybody else to win. Oh, that's right. We're supposed to make a VR to tell everybody what our best smoke was. That's right. Let's see. Best smoke I ever had. I would say it was probably Voodoo Queen in my grandfather's pipe, the one time I actually smoked it. I have a picture of him somewhere back in 1960 smoking that pipe before I was even thought of. Sitting in his backyard, feet up on a chair, smoking his pipe, and someone took a picture of him. I always knew when he was smoking that pipe, you had to leave him alone. Had to leave him alone. Don't go messing with Papaw when the pipe's lit. He was just trying to relax after a hard day of work. Of course, I was young when he passed, but that's a different story. But it's probably why I smoke pipes now, is that little level of closeness that I feel to my own grandfather. But yeah, the one time I actually smoked his pipe, of course it was really old, and nobody had smoked out of it for better part of 20 plus years. And I was a little worried that it was going to end up being broken or just burning up. So I only smoked it once. Hell, call it 30 plus years before I actually smoked out of it. So but that probably had to have been the best smoking experience that I ever had, as far as pipes. There's a couple of different ones for cigars, but that's a side street that we'll go down on a different day. Working on Sundays kind of sucks. I know this isn't Sunday, but this is just a statement of mine. I don't mind working. Don't get me wrong, I don't mind working at all. But on Sunday it kind of sucks because I wanted to hang out with Jose and Dingus and Mike. And by the time I get home from a day of work, I'm hungry and I need a shower. And by the time I get done with all that, everybody's done with their lives by then. The last Sunday show that Mike did, I clicked on and he was already signing off, and I was like, okay, well, I'll hit the thumbs up anyways. Alrighty then. It's part of why I always say there's no reason to ever say, hey, sorry for being late. There's no such thing as late to the tailgate. If you even got here, that was amazing. But we gathered together so that we could go to the next show. That was always the whole thought behind tailgating, is just a place to hang out with one another and shoot the shit, be happy that we're alive, and have a smoke and relax. Back's been a little sore lately. Well, Boris, you don't get that at a cigar shop. But if they would, I would have taken every Sunday available. Every Sunday available. But I'm pretty good at the cigar shop. If they can't find what they're exactly looking for, I know enough about cigars that I can still get them pretty close. So at least they're still enjoying a cigar instead of going like, man, I don't know anything about these cigars. And guy came in the other day. He said, hey, my buddy said this particular cigar is awesome and I needed to try it. And I was like, hey, it's a decent cigar, but you gotta know before you buy it that it's going to taste like this, this, and this. And he says, ooh, no, not doing that. Afterwards, he was really happy that he said something to me because he made a point of saying it. He's like, man, I'm glad you stopped me from getting that one, because obviously his personal favorite flavors and my personal favorite flavors don't make the same favorites. So, happens a lot. Happens more than people care to know. That's what makes a good tobacconist worth the money that they pay, is letting them know, yes, while that's a good cigar, no, that's not the good cigar for you. You're going to be more into something like this right here. Oh, that's too expensive. Okay, well, let's go down a couple of dollars worth and let's look at this cigar right here, because that's going to be in your budget, and it's still going to be a great cigar for you. Same thing for pipe tobacco. I mean, there's some people that they only want aromatics, and some people like Everett who really only wants to see burley. Well, that's two different ends of the spectrum. There's a whole lot in between. And no one single tobacco is going to be the perfect one for everybody. So it's always trying to get you to the right tobacco, the right cigar. For some of us, it's a little easier, and for some of us, it's not. I'm just gifted enough that I can get people to the right cigar. And I listen to y'all enough that I could probably get most people to the right pipe tobacco. Don't get me wrong, I've tried quite a few myself, but well, Robert, that's because you have yet to learn to love Latakia. I know well enough to know that Robert doesn't like Latakia, so steer him away from Latakia blends. Robert likes vapors. Robert would like that tin of a Scudo. Go ahead, Robert. Say, no, you're not going to like that either. I'm willing to bet that Robert would like full Virginia flake with just a sprinkling of Perique. Or maybe full Virginia flake with just a sprinkling of burley. Just enough to give it a little bit of oomph. Well, he still almost has 15 minutes, Patrick. If he's going live at exactly the 30 mark. Well, Robert, if you're going to try it in a press, take detailed notes. Because if you don't take notes and you do happen to go find the perfect blend for you, you're going to be playing hell just to try and get right back to where you found that. Everybody I've ever talked to that's ever tried pressing tobacco, they've always hated that they found it and they didn't take notes. Now, it might be 8 ounces and 1 ounce. It might be a full pound and a half ounce. I mean, you might be using a measuring cup and not actually weighing it. But if you find the perfect one, you want to be able to reproduce it all the time. And the only way you're going to do that is if you take very careful notes every time. And then there's a certain amount of age that you might have to go through. I mean, do I need to age this for 3 months? Do I need to age it for 3 years? Do I need to do what James did and take orange peels and add it in until it's just right? And yes, James, that stuff you produced with the oranges is exquisite. Well, Steve, I'm lucky enough that I do like the similar cigars as what you do, that I can have no problem saying, hey, I found this one, I think you'll probably enjoy it as well. But there's various other cigars that I've smoked that I haven't enjoyed due to flavor, but I still need to be able to know those so that I can tell other people, hey, I think you'll enjoy this cigar. And for anybody who's ever trying to come up with their own personal preference on a blend, if you're not taking notes, you're going to be greatly disappointed in yourself. It's happened to too many people. Heck, when I tell people about how to season a cigar humidor, it's not because I want to waste their money. It's because I don't want them to end up with the same experience I did. I didn't always know everything about cigars that I do now. It took decades. And yes, I did put some cigars in a brand new humidor, not knowing that you needed to season one to a certain level first. And sure enough, they turned to dust. Box of cigars gone. Yeah. I don't want that to happen to anybody else. Patrick, I've heard that caramel cake is really good. Haven't tried it yet. I tried Num Nums and the orange peel blend, which is McSwine's Resurrection, if I remember correctly. I don't have any left of McSwine's Resurrection. It was all I could do to make it last as long as I did. And no, James, I'm not asking for more, but it was very good. As I told you back then, if there was a way that you could get one of these blenders to buy that specific blend off of you, or make royalties on that blend and let some other maker make it for a regular basis, people would be buying it. And being that James does not have a tobacco sales license, which is the reason why he doesn't sell it to you, I'm willing to bet that he's got some blends there that people would pay a lot of good money for. Steve, that is very true about cigars. There are a ton of bad cigars out there. Whether it's because they don't smoke, they're full of craptastic tobacco that won't stay lit, flavors are off, if not awful. That's why I don't mind telling people about cigars at all. I mean, look, I kind of know what I'm talking about. And if I could steer you away from buying something that you're not going to like in favor of something that I do think you will like, well, then I've done a decent job of being a friend. And there's all kind of people out there that'll say, "Oh, that's a great cigar," but then they won't tell their friends what the flavors are. It turns out their friends don't have the same palate, won't appreciate that particular cigar. I do take it on good authority, though, that Martin is going to be having a Yabo. I found some cigars that were perfect for him. I got this feeling he'll be showing them off on Friday. Hopefully he starts with opening the package. That way he can smoke them right there. Well, see, Patrick, that's partly because you understand that some people would like certain cigars, and some people are going to say, "Oh no, that's not for me." I mean, let's look at the best-selling cigar on the planet, the Cuba Cuba. I only know about 10 people that actually like it. But 2 Cuba Cubas get sold for every other cigar on the planet. So I better at least know what it is that those are. No, Boris, I did not dip them in 9 million Scoville chocolate. I would never do that to a person. At least not without severe warning ahead of time. The reaction would be hilarious, but let's be honest, that would just be a cold-blooded joke. Someone could end up hurt, even hospitalized over something like that. Everybody can handle the Scovilles, I do too. Yeah, they might notice after they rub their eye. That would be blindingly obvious that there's something more to that cigar than they thought. Besides that, Martin doesn't like chocolate. Thought about getting him a couple of cigars that tasted remotely of cocoa and chocolate. Decided against it. Four minutes till Robert goes live. Anytime Robert's ready, we'll all jump over there. Oh yeah, Boris. Yeah, just a little dribble of some pure capsaicin extract. That'll do you some good. Nope. That might ruin a perfectly good cigar. I wouldn't even do that to myself. Oh, come on. He could handle more than one Scoville. But 9 million Scovilles would... that would just be... That'd be a horrible thing. One Scoville would be like a bell pepper. This cigar tastes like bell pepper. Yeah, that would... No, I don't see doing that. Ghost peppers are pretty good. I've had a Reaper. I've had some really hot peppers. I've had some really hot chocolate. Hell, I've had some really hot peanuts. Hey, looky there. YouTube actually informed me that Robert is live. All right, everybody. It has been a great time having y'all here tonight. Glad that we could have this time together. The tailgates will continue, but they'll mostly be on Thursday, so I apologize about that, but we are going to continue. So as per always, remember, take care of yourselves and each other. Do the best you can with that. And as always, long lives, big bowls, and long ashes. Howdy, Josh. Great to see you, sir. Y'all take care, and I will see you at Robert's house here in just a minute. Talk to you soon. Bye for now.